everyone! Greetings dear Aristobuds, fellow immortals and mortals yet to be claimed by the night. Welcome to this lady's humble abode. Today we'll be playing Revival, the Uluru Games. It's a new time-limited event of this patch, and our story this time takes place in Australia. I've already played a few parts because I wasn't sure if I was going to play this with you guys. I wasn't at a good mental state. I still am not at a good mental state because of what I mentioned in the community tab. But since the story is still locked for me, I haven't completed my weekly tasks to get the Penumbra Khan. I thought maybe we should do the main story and then Dicky's story. I'll start from the beginning, regardless of how much I've done. I've only done 5 parts anyway. And I'll be sharing my thoughts with you until we get to the part where I have to keep playing myself. It's a very interesting story. Once again, there's themes of reincarnation, dragons, lots of fun stuff to explore and understand about the world of Arcanus. Let's go. I gotta say, they always serve when it comes to OST. Blue Book did us a solid with launching their own record label, because every single one of these limited time events as well as the main story have banger music. Like, listen to this. I just can't. I really like what they're doing, both artistic style wise and music wise. Anyway, on to the main event. From the top, roller coaster. A collision can spark the beginning of a story. It can also lead to a large medical bill.
You've reached Desert Flannel. I'm not home right now, or I don't have time for calls. Please leave a message after the beep. Hello? We've only got 20 minutes before the game starts. Where are you? Get your ass here now, unless you're dead. Look, I know you're not into these games, but you can really use the money, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to me.
Not a single beam of light can pass through the thick blackout curtain, blocked out by it is a perfect sunny day.
If you stand me up again, we're both screwed.
Whatever. Just leave it to Thursday.
The game on Thursday is crucial. I will get expelled if I mess it up. I'm begging you. Just come over now.
I've noticed that this event in general has lots of cussing. I didn't expect so. I mean, we had some with Tooth Fairy as well, but this one has actually several of them. Mostly from Desert Flannel's part.
Thursday?
Between the quilt and the bed, the bipedal animal is struggling to come back to the waking world.
Wait, it's Thursday?
The word is like a head-on shocking blow. She has missed out on so many things. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of envious of people who can sleep days on end without issue, because like, I'm too anxious. I can even keep an 8 hours straight sleep to save my life. Like, I have to wake up every 2 hours for whatever reason. Could be night terrors, it could be wanting water, whatever. A similar misfortune befalls someone else too.
We missed the right junction. The roads are different from the map Mr. Slouchat gave us. It's too outdated to provide any useful information.
Terrific. We've gone wrong again. This is like, the 4th time.
I can begin to describe you how happy I was to actually see Medicine Pocket in the story. As you may have noticed from my first few videos, they're one of my favorite characters.
Since my short life is supposed to be spent in creating huge value for all the living things in this world, Foundation should have sent me another bodyguard, a more reliable one. And the contact here should have offered us a more reliable map.
The nerve though, thinking somebody else could keep them safe better than Burton.
I am the one and only reliable bodyguard who can keep you safe among all the others in the Foundation. You are of great significance to Laplace. They don't want you to take any risks.
Cities always change, and maps are supposed to follow them in step.
We can go back to the last junction or keep going forward. There is a trail about 300 meters ahead, and it leads all the way to the Rolling Croc bookstore. You want to check the map?
When things don't work out one way, a researcher will find another. See? There comes another way.
The girl coming around from the corner is the perfect choice.
Hey, wait. Miss Spathadia, right?
Who are you? Do I know you?
With sweat on the tip of her nose, she keeps hopping on the spot. A bestie badge with her name on it is pinned on her chest. Clearly, she is not aware of what gives her away.
Excuse us. We're looking for a bookstore. It's called the Rolling Croc, with a hand drum made of crocodile skin hanging on the signboard.
And that very store has the fragment of the fungus potion analysis report I want. If it weren't for that, no one would have taken a walk on this ridiculously vast land. No one! Besides, there's no frisbee here.
Issues.
The Rolling Croc. Rolling? Oh, I pass by that store every morning when I exercise. Go straight ahead, turn right into the lane after passing by a cafe with an orange signboard, and there it is. But do keep your heads down, or you'll be hit by the signboards there.
Do they have the signboards that low in Australia? I want to know.
I can take you there if you need... Oh, shoot! Warm-up time's almost over. I have to go. My coach is waiting for me for the punching exercise. Sorry, guys. Hope you find the store.
I actually didn't realize that she was a boxer when I first did this part. I just thought she was, athletic, like she would go running and stuff like that. Like, I really thought she was a runner or something, or doing many different sports. But yeah, and I saw the boxing gloves and I was like, oh, okay.
Thank you.
Make way! Make way! Move aside!
It's okay. Don't mention it.
The girl is sitting out again. A crisp voice overlaps the approaching, shouting.
Wait! Someone's at the corner! Watch!
Help! Fire. I'm on fire.
Confusion and weak pulse. We have to take her to the place.
I love how chill Verdin is all the time. Like, you see a girl on fire and she's like, confusion and weak pulse. We have to take her to La Place.
I'm fine. I'm always fine.
Yeah, that's what we all tell ourselves, girl. Tossing and turning.
What happened to me? Did I really break some part of myself? They said I passed out, but it doesn't feel like that to me. My vest is dusty, but I don't feel any pain at all.
She tosses around in bed, crumbling the bed sheets like weighted up tissues.
Maybe I need more ice water.
She gulps down some cold water.
No. Maybe it's hot tea that I need.
I love accents so much. Like many, not just English, like many languages. I love accents. I love the differences from one language to another. And this game has given me the best of fixes when it comes to this. Did you hear that R by the end of her no, like nar? Absolutely love this. And takes a sip of boiling hot black tea.
Oh, shoot. It's not working at all. I should have gone to that lab lettuce place with those wacky people and had a physical examination.
Not the lab
Let me
lettuce.
see. Their card is in... Wait, No, I've turned them down. If I go back to them, that'll be super embarrassing.
That wouldn't be me, girl. If I was on fire, if I felt that way, I would go to them. Embarrassment who? I don't know her.
Besides, I bumped my head on the ground, but it's my stomach that's feeling sick now. I'm sure this is just a coincidence. I seldom have junk food and never miss the training at school. I know my body well. It's healthy and tough.
I tell this bullshit to myself too sometimes. You can never know your body enough. Do test yourselves once in a while, people. I mean, you probably won't have what Spatodia has, as you will see later, but it's good to always test ourselves every now and then. You never know. She says so to comfort herself, shaking her head and pulling out a photo album from under her pillow.
I already took the medicine for stomach pain. Now just take a break and distract myself from it.
The moment she opens the album, a breeze blows out from it.
The smell of soil, mineral, burning coal, and the golden panda.
The spot had given me a warm feeling for some reason. I guess I really like when people have something that is really special to them, one special interest, that just bringing it to mind, it brings a smile on their face, or it calms them, like in her case.
That already makes me feel much better.
Everyone has their own way to chill out, yeah. So does Pathodia. She eagerly draws in the breeze, running her finger along the edge of the photos. In one of the photos, an Arcanist with rosy cheeks is flying on a broom, cheering for her victory.
This is the first photo in my collection. Mom gave it to me for my 5th birthday in 1884. Branchfort was very popular amongst Arcanists. The Uluru Games that year had more trees than that in any other year.
Ah, Uluru, not Uluru. I've been pronouncing it wrong.
Then, in 1900, St. Pavlov Foundation took over the Uluru Games. Out of security concerns, they abolished 1/3 of the events that involved dangerous actions and imposed a lot of regulations on the rest. Jones got first place in the game that year.
I've yet to find one good thing this stupid foundation has done besides raise Arcanists to control their powers better. Honestly, all they've been doing from the beginning of the game is being a problem to other Arcanists. I don't like them. I just don't. Like, the people who work inside... okay, there are some that I like, are the Arcanists that we are playing, but goodness, everyone else is pissing me off.
Then, the games in 1938. It was the most successful one ever since the Foundation took over. It was so successful, almost everyone thought the games would be revived and brought back to the public. Until...
A slight sigh escapes her mouth. Now she's looking at the last page of the thin album.
I wish I could see the Uluru Stadium with my own eyes again. Even for just a minute. Like how I used to host the opening ceremonies in there. Back then, I stood on the highest platform, igniting a flame from the wood saturated by ointment, and then flew on a rosewood branch, following a canoe in water and gently pushing it forward. But the flame had a fight with me. I trembled with anger because she was such an unreasonable blockhead. Then my sight was filled with darkness. My sight? My sight?
Spathodia unconsciously scratches her chest and then her throat.
Did I just say something? What are these things doing in my head? Are they illusions? When did I go to the desert? Since when did I...
I really want to know what's the deal with the fire. I've yet to reach that point, obviously, because I was in part 5. But yeah, this is the one I'm most interested in. A warm touch of itch climbs up from her stomach to her chest, squeezing itself out of her windpipe. Like a bird flapping its damp feathers, strangling its way out of her body.
Is the medicine working? My stomach is much better now, but... my throat... it's burning and itchy.
There she is.
Mum never told me we're descendants of the Red Dragon.
The way she could understand it just by that.
No. I need to see the doctor right now.
So this was part 1. Obviously, I got many questions, but that last part had confused me the first time as well, and I hope they mention it later in the story, because, okay, Arcanists know about each other, they know their history, they know the lineages, they know all this kind of stuff, okay? So it makes sense that she knew about the dragon family, but it's crazy to me that she knew that throwing up flames actually means you belong in that dragon family. Like, how can you be sure? How did she have that knowledge in the first place, you know? Part 2, the lovely neighbor. Let it be known, the best way to call on a neighbor has never been to climb the treetops and wait by her window late at night.
Now, let's summarize what happened. You fell into a coma for 16 minutes and 30 seconds yesterday, due to external impact. Then you woke up and found yourself fine.
That's right.
On that night, you felt an unusual burn coming up to your throat from your stomach. At the same time, you had weird illusions. And at last, you vomited a ball of fire.
Yes, that's right, exactly.
For one last time, are you sure no one in your family is related to the Red Dragon?
100% positive. I checked all the family photos and medical records and even rang Mum and Dad. They denied every possibility of it.
The symptom is really rare to see.
I know. So, don't walk away on me.
You're the one who walked away on them. Each of her hands clenches one wrist from the other two, joining them together like a floating buoy line in a swimming pool.
Are you really buying that?
I don't doubt it.
Then you're a fool, donut. Would have lost all your clothes to any rorter that comes up to you if you wandered long enough on the streets.
Donut, okay.
And you, I'm warning you. Take your little claws off me. Let me go now.
From the few parts I've played, I'm not a big fan of Desert Flannel, but she has endearing qualities. She might grow on me though, like, just like 37 grew on me, she might grow on me too. But she's fun.
Hey, you were the one who burst out of nowhere and knocked me over. Now my brain's not working right and you're responsible for it.
Yeah? You mean this smidge of zombie fire? You reckon this is the first time an arcanist sees it? Can get you 20 of these in 2 days in any workshop. You gotta try harder if you want to fool me.
Whoa. I'm not a liar. I saw that ball of fire come out of my mouth.
Irritated by the skepticism, she shoves the fire into her mouth.
You frauds never stop coming up with new scams. No cheat, no eat. Heard that before?
Not everyone's like you, girl.
Go home with your fake fire. If you continue doing this,
Fire.
be careful of the bunyips. They will crawl into your house through the sewerage and take your tongue because lies are their favorite food.
These are interesting animals, by the way, the bunyips, she says. We'll see them later. They seem to feed on words, and I think that's kind of creative, a species in a game.
But there is no evidence to prove that she is telling a lie.
Evidence? I have more than enough evidence to prove she's not some innocent lamb. She climbed up the tree outside my window and was shouting and screaming there in the middle of the night. The moment I went outside, she took me here like she was carrying a bag of groceries.
One may infer that she was shocked by the fire vomiting and thus displayed abnormal behaviors.
My God, don't you have adults at home to put some senses in your head? Haven't they taught you not to trust the stranger's words? Especially if they show up at late hours?
She's not wrong, let's be real. But yeah, she's a kid, like, I don't know how old she is per se, but she appears to be a kid, so I wouldn't personally be scared of a kid of Spathodia's age. If it was smaller, like if there was a small kid outside my window at night, I will freak the hell out, because, you know, I'm a horror fan. I've seen a lot of kids killing people, but yeah, teenagers not so many, so I think she'd be fine. I wouldn't worry so much.
The stranger? I know something's wrong with my head, and I'm not even sure who I really am anymore. But you shouldn't have forgotten me. We're neighbors, Desert Flannel. I live 3 streets away. I even said hello to you.
And? Do you know how many people could say hello to me and forget them the next day? I'm with Desert on this one.
3 streets away? How does it make us neighbors?
True though.
And I don't think our little covered street is part of your fancy community, where people sit by the white fountains and walk in the street gardens. The last time I checked, I was not from some rich immigrant family. No matter what you're looking for money or for fun, I couldn't care less about it. The only thing I care about is that my landlord will kick me out if I fail to pay rent this month. So let me go!
Desert Flannel struggles, pulls her arm out of the grip and storms off.
No, you mustn't leave.
Spathodia jumps up from the sofa and grabs Desert Flannel's collar roll, but loses her balance. Like toppling dominoes, the 3 of them fall over each other and tumble down on the ground. Was poor Vertin.
Ugh! I think I just nicked you in the teeth.
You must not leave. At least, not before I figure out what happened to me.
I still don't see how Desert could help with what happened to her. Like, let her leave. If anything, yeah, sure, she's responsible because you hit your head, but they can bring her back another time. Let her make her coin, girl.
Things are flashing in my mind now. Sometimes the past, sometimes the present. I remember I can sing, but soon I forget how to do that. I remember the crowd who worshipped me on their knees, and running somewhere like the Uluru Stadium. And something hot. A hot bonfire? Is that a bonfire? Anyway, no matter what it is, I'm just an ordinary person like anyone else living at the end of the century. These things shouldn't be in my mind. There must be something wrong with me. With my head or other parts. I can't just go nuts now. My training plan... It's all ruined. I even have a game to play at the end of the year.
Relax. The symptoms may not last. Sensing omens doesn't always mean danger to arcanists. Given the complexity of the situation, I think you need a more detailed physical examination to find the crux. We will help you and take care of you until you completely recover, or say, become completely normal again.
You... Thank goodness. At least I can count on you.
Everyone can count on Verdin, but who can Verdin count on?
Both my mum and dad aren't home right now. I'm on my own. It's all over for me if the condition gets worse. At least, that's how it goes in the TV.
Oh, I didn't remember that. So her parents are away. She doesn't live alone.
Don't jump to the worst conclusion yet. Follow me.
Okay. Thank you.
Spathodia wipes off the tears in her eyes and keeps up with Vertin, but soon they both stop and turn back to the one still on the sofa.
What? What are you staring at? She's having a body checkup. Do I have to tag along?
You're going to sneak away for those part-time jobs, aren't you?
Yeah, because people have to make money, girl.
Fine, genius. You win.
Murmuring something, Desert Flannel willingly follows the team.
Oi, you with the suitcase. Do you know how I can get a job here? Looks like they pay their employees well.
If I had half her confidence, I would have many jobs by now. This is another thing that I am envious of, besides people that can sleep for days on end and forget their existence without anxiety, without anything. The people who never miss a chance to ask if there's a job available everywhere they go. That takes guts, dude. Anyway, Number 3. Chinga Chinga. When they saw the fluorescence in the forest, the flickering inspiration, the essence of the human soul, they shouted as loudly as they desired.
Here is Miss Spathadia's physical examination.
Oh, how sweet. They even got you the Salvia Zopiclone patches. If the illusions get too real and you can't sleep, use them.
Okay, thanks. But I need to ask my coach if I can use it.
Don't worry, it's been approved by the Therapeutic Goods Administration of Campbell. The ingredients include salvia, mint, and a hallucination potion. They can neutralize the side effect perfectly.
The researcher opens the girl's medical record, takes off the pouch sticking to the cover, and slides it to the girl.
Actually, you're quite the lucky one, you know. That old map shows there used to be stairs where you fell down, with over 100 steps. Thank goodness you live in the right time. Otherwise, you would have tumbled all the way down there.
I love they have him say that with a smile.
In that case, no one can tell what you would vomit, fire, or maybe something even worse.
Triggered. I wonder. Medicine Pocket's voice dies down like a flame being blown out. Muted for a while, Medicine Pocket briskly collects the files on the table and walks towards the door.
Wait here. I need to get someone. A weirdo for sure, yet the best person we can turn to for this problem.
Not gonna lie, the way they put it, I had high hopes from a far weirder person than Medicine Pocket, but yeah. Their understanding of what a weirdo is happens to be quite different from my standards. Don't worry, it's not worse than what Medicine Pocket is.
All right. I think that's the last thing I'd like to hear from a doctor.
It's crazy to me that they're fine with Medicine Pocket and they worry about what they just said. Oh my goodness. I must admit though, they really made him docile in the story, because if you read Medicine Pocket's lines, they appear to be very unhinged, but in this story it's quite different. They look more docile. Sure, they still say weird stuff, but they're not attempting to bite anything. They're not going hee 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 and doing weird experiments or whatnot. I expected them to be a little crazier based on what I had read so far. I'm not 100% disappointed, but yeah, I expected a bit more of a crazy scientist kind of trope.
Would you just let go of my hand, Sheila? Or the good doctor here will have to cut this hand off later because of necrosis.
I will. But can I hold it for another 5 minutes, please? I'm sort of nervous.
Time spent in anxiety feels like a year.
That's right. Breathe in, breathe out. Then unbend the fingers. I'm also human, I feel pain too, sweetheart.
The footsteps of the mysterious guest coming from the hallway are getting closer and closer.
I can't believe how lucky I am. We haven't seen a living case for decades. This is exciting. Thank you for letting me know about this, Medicine Pocket.
Not at all, Ezra, my dear friend. See, I always keep you and your weird little mushrooms at the back of my mind. So, it'd be best if you could give them to me without leaving any records in Laplace's system next time.
Always the benefit in the back.
Anyway, we can talk about that later. Now, go check out the girl. She might be very useful for your paper on Arcanum.
Of course. I'll tend to her in a moment. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I've been waiting for this for too long.
Ezra turns directly to Spathadia.
What?
The young researcher walks to her, steady as a boat floating on the water, smiling.
May? You mean me?
Certainly, Miss Spathadia. I came for you.
By the way, a little note, because I got pissed about this. I got spoiled that Ezra is a boy, and I was a bit mad. Obviously, with these characters it doesn't matter, like one way or another you will find out, but I was pissed because like I went to experience it. I thought he would be a girl based on the art. But yeah, within 3 days of the release of the game, I got spoiled 3 times, and this was one of the things that pissed me off the most, because I would have really loved to get surprised finding out Ezra is a boy. But anyway, this is what I get for getting myself more involved with the fandom. Like, I have my issues with Twitter because they spoil Genshin there for me, and on Tumblr because all Reverse fans like analyzing stuff and lore and whatnot. Yeah, they spoil a lot from Reverse there, unfortunately.
I've been briefed on your case and had a basic understanding of the inner flame temperature and the fuel through the laboratory report. Here's a list summarizing all the conditions. It's still a draft, but please, take a look.
She sees a list with dense writing and ink that has barely dried.
Since your condition is stabilized, and as a teenager, you're still in a developmental stage, I'd recommend you to run a test which is more friendly and pleasant to your nose.
Ezra grabs a Y-shaped metal rod and a piece of cotton-like material that holds them in his palm. And holds
Now, please blink 3 times at this dowsing rod and blow on it as lightly as possible.
What's this?
Oh, no, not like that. Just be gentle with it. Lower your voice so, that you don't blow away the spores on the filter.
See, how is he weirder than Medicine Pocket? Tell me. It's just super kind, with great dedication to everything he does. How's that weird? The white filter paper almost touches the tip of her nose. She can't say no to such a gentle and soft request like that, obviously. He's too kind. So she closes her eyes, lowers and lowers her voice, and repeats the instruction to herself.
Okay. Blink 3 times and blow.
The fluorescent spores on the filter paper curl immediately and turn a cheery amber color.
And we're going to roll it up and fix it on the dowsing rod. Now time will do its magic.
You know what? Sorry for blabbering, by the way, but I'm just trying to figure out how Ezra is as a character. Maybe Medicine Pocket considers him weirder in a way because he's very normal, actually. Perhaps this is why. Because if you listen to X talking, for example, he sounds normal, okay? But there are moments he says really creepy stuff, like about joining him into research and helping him test by you being the test subject. So I think that because Ezra is a researcher, yet is still very normal and not as quote-unquote creepily enthusiastic about his subject, he's considered weird for Medicine Pocket. I have no idea.
Doctor, is there a cure for my head? Wait, is that the smell of mushroom?
It is related to mushrooms, and I'm not a doctor. Please forgive me, Miss Spathadia. I was so overjoyed I forgot to introduce myself. Hello, I'm Ezra.
Hello. The accent again, sorry.
I'm a human researcher at the Laplace, Australia branch. My research is mostly on the diversity of local mushrooms and fungi. I'm very thrilled to meet you.
You're not a doctor? Just a researcher. And a human? And you're working on mushrooms?
That's right. It's a shame that I didn't become a member of the arcane study team, but I'm equally interested in mushrooms. I enjoy this job.
Spathadia turns pale, holding her face, and steps back in horrified disbelief.
So, they get you here to treat me, which means
You're a mushroom.
I'm not a descendant of the Red Dragon, but that of mushrooms? I'm a fire-breathing mushroom girl?
Loki sounds badass to me.
No, I'm not here to diagnose your abnormality, Miss Spathadia. You're perfectly healthy. Your brain CT result looks normal, and I can see you're in good shape. In a stricter medical sense, you're almost one of the healthiest people I've ever seen.
Ha! Finally someone has a sharp eye. So the truth has been unraveled. There has never been any illusions, nor is anybody putting on some strange, absurd, fire-spitting show. And
But she did not lie. Please, take a look at this. According to the analysis, the core of her fire consists of an obsidian gravel that has 22 evenly distributed layers.
This is no modern thing. It's old, dating back thousands of years.
What? What do you mean? Whose side are you on?
Have I made it difficult for you to understand? Well, you'll know when you see it. Please bear with me for 5 minutes.
Holding the metal rod, Ezra switches the buttons on the machine. The mass in the backpack exhales, letting out a cloud of mist.
Have you heard of the reincarnators?
Ezra unfolds the filter paper and holds the two ends of the rod.
It's one of the Arcanus lineages, a rare kind. Since this power can only be randomly triggered, and its manifestation could happen anywhere, anytime, and in any fashion, it is hard to identify them when there is one. The most well-known case must be Dorothy of London. She fell down the stairs in her own house and lost every vital sign. But she woke again and became the ancient Egyptian Bentreshit.
You're not saying that she's...
Miss Spathadia is a reincarnator. Those so-called illusions are not a result of any brain damage. They were once real. It's her past. Based on the past cases, she'll go through a period of mental turmoil. That could be short or longer than anyone could expect. But eventually, she will become herself again. The old self.
But how is that possible? Everybody knows that the reincarnators are just some lousy made-up tabloid stories.
That's right. Sensationalism. That's the mainstream opinion about the reincarnators. In Dorothy's case, her experience of learning Egyptian and her career as an archaeologist also caused controversies over her true lineage, which is understandable since people haven't seen a reincarnator in years. But at the beginning of the 20th century, when Dorothy fell down the stairs which decided her fate, Laplace Scientific Computing Centre established its Australia branch, carrying out studies of local fungi. The fungi study is a brand new direction, and it has been secretly developing next to the public since, like the Australian honey fungus, growing without getting anyone's attention. The facts will speak for themselves. Please allow me to prove it to you.
A knowledgeable young man.
Medicine Pocket, could you please turn off the lights for us?
Oh, this one I liked.
Cheers.
Cheers. The poles of that metal fork sway in the dark room, letting out a buzzing sound like a bee floating in the air.
When we talk about reincarnation, the real question behind it is whether the soul exists.
And philosophy is back in the game.
Because the soul is commonly considered to be the essence of what makes a person who he or she is. If a person dies, his or her soul will return to the ever-circulating network.
Network? What network?
A theory developed from Riemann's on the hypotheses which underlie geometry describe the world as an eternal, vast, invisible yet ubiquitous net.
And as the news story described, a reincarnator is a miracle where a soul disappears from point A and shows up at point B without any clear reasons.
Exactly, Miss Verdon. I'm amazed that you know so much about the reincarnators.
The sparkling spores floating in the humid air slowly approach each other and intertwine.
That report described the reincarnators as incomprehensible and spontaneous. But the truth is, we've never gotten close enough to observe and study them.
Huh? What's the shiny powder on my fingers?
Spathadia looks upwards and can't help from letting out a small cry.
Gosh! It's like the neural network I read in the textbook.
You have a sharp sense. You arcanists never cease to amaze me. The latest studies have shown that the working mechanism of mushroom flora may be similar to the brain's, and we have made some progress from that.
I'd like to know if that is actually true, like if there is any similarity between these two things that he mentions. Also, this is a lovely artwork. He looks very precious, yeah?
This is why the study of mushrooms is important. It enriches our understanding of the reincarnators, for they are hard to find.
And it's an odd approach too, like, I don't know how could somebody figure that the way fungi work underground is similar to the way human souls work in an invisible plane. how could you compare these two and realize they're actually similar, and then continue to observe mushrooms in order to understand how what's invisible to you works, if that makes sense. Whether fantasy or not, it's a fascinating concept, in my opinion. But you can never know with Reverse. They're actually making good research for everything they put in the game, so maybe someone has actually found this to be true, or suggests that it is true, because, like they said, this whole idea about souls, even from the most ancient of times, was accepted to be something that we humans can't see. We just guessed. We made theories based on our experiences, and that's it. But anyway.
You mean these things floating in the air? Mushrooms?
The Australian honey fungus. The mushrooms living beneath the ground. It's a pathogenic gem that causes roots to rot. It was first discovered in a eucalyptus plantation in southeastern Australia. At the end of the 1970s, Laplace researchers who intervened in the local environment protection found that, unlike other fungi which reproduce through the spreading of spores, the honey fungi spread by the growth of their underground mycelia all over the forest.
You think it's like that invisible net?
Yes, a net hiding underground, in which you see an object disappear at point A and magically emerge again at point B. The reincarnators are very similar to Australian honey fungus in this aspect. And with her breath, a small amount of her saliva, and the dowsing rod, we will be able to find her net and map her movements on it. And when her gaze emblazes the Omphalotus nidiformis...
Omphalotus what? Isn't that a ghost fungus?
Yes, the ghost fungus. The mushrooms that glow in the dark.
The fact she knows what this is, though. She's smarter than she looks.
They're called chinga in older times, which means spirit and soul, the sparkle of ideas in human minds.
If the mushroom has simulated Spathadia's net, then these two light spots are...
The one closer to us represents the current Miss Spathadia, and the farther and brighter one is what put her through the changes now.
So... that's me in the past? And I will gradually turn into... her?
The light is back in the room, the ventilator emitting two consecutive notifications that extracts the sparkling lights out together with the heavy moisture in the air.
5 minutes. We are right on time. Miss Desert Flannel, how do you feel?
Damn it! If she's so badly injured, how much would the compensation be? Is this how my life will be? Being heavily in debt?
Miss Desert Flannel, you're nibbling at your nails. You will get hurt from it. Please stop.
And he's considerate too. How is that weird? Medicine pocket.
Me? I'm fine. Are you talking to me? You were saying?
Yes, I was asking how you're doing. Did you get my drift?
I think. Well, I know it's highly unlikely that this little girl was hatched from a dragon's egg, but is it possible that she's just some kind of uncommon lizard? You know, the really ancient ones? Anything but a reincarnator.
But what you said doesn't make sense.
Being a reincarnator makes sense, but being an ancient lizard is... At this point, anything that happens in this game doesn't surprise me.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? There was fire coming out of her mouth.
Desert Flannel points at the fireplace on the couch, which is still burning, and shakes her digital pet machine.
And my only family here is a pixel emu. Does it make sense to you?
Oh yes, it does make to me. I used to love my Tamagotchi. I think I had only one. Yeah, I had one Tamagotchi and one Pikachu in such a pixel pet machine.
I don't follow. I know this is not your fault. It's just your Arcanus nature taking over. It's very normal if you got too carried away by your emotions and became delusional and hysterical.
That last one could have earned him a slap. Never tell a woman she's hysterical, guys.
Please, take my hand. I was once trained to help Arcanus calm down. Now breathe with me. In.
Me? I'm not hysterical.
So the hysterical girl with the fans. Not the game too!
What do you know about Arcanus? You're not even one of us.
said the outraged bystander. In the white room, the argument snowballs tumbling out of control, letting a wisp of smoke slither across the room unnoticed.
Everyone. Please, believe me that I meant you no harm, Miss Bathadia. I was only trying to help.
Help? How? By calling us delusional?
No, he's saying Desert is delusional. With you, he simply said you're seeing things from your past.
There's nothing I hate more than humans like you saying that others are over-emotional.
People. No, nothing like that. Miss Bathadia, it is not my intention to criticize anything or anyone. It's just biologically, arcanists tend to be more sensitive and easily affected. I also like arcanists, almost as much as I'm interested in mushrooms. That's why I study them.
He's just a fun boy.
Do you smell something burning?
Before they realize it, the flame placed on the couch has already devoured its seat, and the floor spread to the door and completely blocked their way out. The burning heat is approaching at a terrifying speed.
A fire! It's the flame I spat out. When did it grow so large?
I tried to warn you.
How? By simply going, guys, everyone, please. Like, put some fire into it, Burton.
It has grown larger and larger as your lizard hypothesis heated up. I'm sure the guards of Laplace will break in soon.
Security of Laplace Research Center Hospital taking over. All patients and non-staff, please follow me to evacuate the room. Evaluating fire level. Level 2. Extinguishing the fire. Source of ignition confirmed. Request for permission to use kangaroo foam fire extinguisher 3.
I love this part as well.
Wait! You can't put out my flame. It's important for me. Very, very important. I don't know why, but it's important, this is for sure. Those bubble kangaroos will kick its butt once they see the flames.
I'll protect it for you. Don't worry.
There you go. Now you're free from the fuzzy foam.
Thank goodness. Thank you. Though I still smell like a Joey, I'm much better now.
In the early stages of arcane ability awakening, the rate of arcanists losing control can reach 74.3%. But it doesn't mean that you can set a fire in the clinic of the Laplace Research Center Hospital, or fight the security to protect the flame.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this, and I have no idea why my flame grew so large all of a sudden. That never happened before.
They do a good job showing that she's actually mentally unstable right now, because she's been a brat at one point, but then she apologizes. All in all, I think she is kind of bratty as Pathadia as a whole as a character, but I don't think she's actually trying to be that way or doing it naturally, because it's like a fire. They chose this element for a reason. Fire can be calm at one moment, but then if you throw something to it, depending on whether it is flammable or not, it may actually spark and become bigger and bigger until it engulfs everything around it in flames. And that's exactly what happens with her. Like, she's generally calm, but the more the others are saying things to her, is like throwing things in her fire, and she immediately reacts without thinking.
I know I should have been responsible and noticed the anomaly earlier. I was completely lost in the argument.
Literally a hothead. She buries her face in her hands and is still trying to bury it even deeper.
The silver lining is, as the fire was still under control, they used the kangaroo foam fire extinguisher, and thus it didn't cause any casualties. Please write down your emotional changes and physical reactions that occurred during the incident on this sheet of paper. We'll keep tracking your physical health information. The concentration potion is on that table, and there are blankets and Type 2 PMMA safety boxes in the cabinet under the table. Please keep the hazard sealed for safekeeping.
Okay, got it.
You are still in an unstable state. Please have a rest here and don't move around. If you need anything, please press the call bell on your left and our nursing staff will come to help.
The medical staff collects the tray and walks out of the clinic, leaving the room in silence again.
Well, in case we burn another room. box she mentioned is... Oh, here it is.
Burning. She opens the transparent box and leans in towards the little flame.
I know freedom matters, little flame, but we have no choice. Sorry, buddy.
She reaches out a hand to push a flame into the box with great caution.
Alright, listen. My teacher said fire needs oxygen to burn, so I'll leave a small window for you to breathe.
I have always wanted to see you.
What?
Go.
Are you talking? Gosh, the call bell. Where's the call bell?
Go back to Ulu. He must go back to Uluru Games.
Huh? Uluru? Uluru Games? You mean the Uluru Games? Oh, make it clear, little flame, make it clear. What's going on with the Uluru Games?
Spathadia grabs the flame in a hurry. A sparkling flame starts devouring her palm, bite by bite.
Ah! The fire! It's burning on me! It feels different this time. It's so...
Far faster than expected, the flame spreads over her and a cry for help fades into the burning red. And we've reached the end of this video. Part 2 will be posted next week. Now, as far as schedule after the upcoming week is concerned, I'll be away from May 27th to June 11th or 12th, I think. I have to be somewhere. So about 3 of Uluru Games will have to be delayed, I'm afraid. I hope 3 parts will be enough to cover the whole event because it is quite long. And after that, because I got myself a little carried away and made several reverse videos in a row, I'd like to do something different for 1 or 2 videos. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do. I suppose by the time I'll be back, both Clorenz and Siege Wind's trailers will be up for me to react to. But other than that, I haven't decided on what I'm going to do. I wish to react to Demon Slayer's 4th season that has just started. I know I said I wanted to stay away from movie reactions, stuff like that, because it takes too much time to edit. But 1, I really want to react to this one. And 2, each episode is less than an hour long, so hopefully editing won't be taking me 3 weeks for each episode. It remains to be seen. After that, we'll be going back to Reverse, of course. We have lots of stuff to do. The new patch is coming. Many stuff to do, yes. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. As always, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope every character you wish for comes home before you know it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.